Welcome to the Star Podcast.
Whoa. Star Podcast.
Welcome to the Star Podcast, hosted by Nat. Each week, we share tips and stories from safety, trucking, and recruitment, and everything in between. Listen now.
Welcome back to another episode. As promised, I'm bringing back some of the most popular episodes that we've had on the show, and one of those was Donna Bethel with Platinum Executive Search, and she spoke all about executive recruitment. But Donna and I recorded a new episode, which I think is fantastic, so she brought you some new information, and you can still go back and listen to her episode. Today, Donna shares some information. To me, December always starts to feel a little bit like a slower month. There's Christmas, people are taking time off, but she came on and shared how using December as a way of recruiting and getting ready for the new year can really give you that competitive advantage. So if you're thinking about a new team member, if you're thinking about adding someone to a different department, or whatever you're thinking recruitment-wise, you should definitely listen to Donna because she shares some really great advice and how she can work with you to save time and help grow your team at the same time. So listen now. Right. So I'm excited today to welcome back Donna. Welcome back to the podcast, Donna.
Thank you for having me.
As I mentioned in a couple episodes ago, I was reviewing which episodes were our most popular, and your episode about executive recruitment was one of the top, was number 2. So I was just going to re-release that episode, but then you agreed to do a new updated episode. So I think this is even better. So I'm excited to dive in.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I was very shocked about that. It was great to hear.
Yeah, for
and thanks
sure.
Again,
yeah. So I was hoping for anyone who maybe didn't hear that episode, or just to give people a refresher, can you share a little bit about what you do and how you work with companies?
Sure. So I'm a talent acquisition specialist with Platinum Executive Search. I help companies find people who genuinely fit their team, not someone who just looks good on paper. I'm very relationship driven. I take the time to understand the business, the personalities, culture, and the story behind the role. I also take time to get to know my network, to look at the whole person and not just the resume. I feel very lucky to be able to do what I do. I really just love my job.
Yeah, and you can tell just the way that you talk about your clients and the way that you talk about the people that you're helping, you're just so passionate and so very kind. So you can tell that you really love what you do. So that's amazing.
Thank you.
So why did planning, like we're talking about the new year, why does planning your team members now for the new year give you a competitive edge?
Well, I think January is when most companies start scrambling to hire. And by then, the strongest candidates are typically already in the conversation stage. So I think starting early, and I think starting early gives companies first access to top talent. It removes the pressure. It gives more time to make the right decisions and sets them up to start the year strong rather than trying to catch up at the end.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because initially, when you mentioned hiring now, I was the same thought. Well, it's Christmas. Like, would you want to hire now? But it totally makes sense to get people, like they could get their onboarding done. Christmas is generally maybe a little bit slower for companies. So you could definitely get all of that done, get people familiar with the company, and do your one-on-ones with whoever or whatever onboarding you do. So that makes total sense. So I love that you're encouraging people to get started now. So how can people work with you to grow their team?
Okay. Well, there's a few ways. I take on the entire recruitment process, or I can partner with existing talent teams to alleviate their workload. So some companies need support with the sourcing. Some need help screening, and others want someone they trust, keeping the process organized and moving. I'm pretty flexible, and because I've recruited across multiple industries and levels, I can step in wherever the gap is to make hiring smoother and more efficient. I try to adapt to each company's needs and deliver results that actually move the business forward.
Awesome. So depending on whatever company requires, they could reach out to you. You could have a quick chat. You can figure out what they need, and then you can tailor it to whatever. Nice. That's excellent. What about companies who have recruiters already? Maybe they have a recruitment team, or they just have one person that does the recruitment. Can they still work with you?
Absolutely. I work with internal recruiters all the time. So I know that internal recruiters, they handle so much, from interviews, onboarding, employee issues, having multiple open roles at the same time, and bringing me in gives them an extra set of hands where I can help widen their search, speed up the process, and really just take the pressure off their plate. So I'm not replacing the team. I'm supporting them so they can do their jobs even better. And so I've had great success when partnering with internal recruiters.
Right. And maybe there was a role that maybe they were having a hard time filling and they have 5 other roles to do. They could maybe give you one specific role to start out with and see how that worked out, and you could work with their team to help them out that way.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I've also helped with confidential searches as well. So where it can get sticky is like they need to keep it confidential. They bring me in and I can kind of help fill the role from a confidential aspect.
Right. What makes your recruitment approach different than other companies?
I get asked this a lot, and I would say that I'm truly people focused. So I don't rush. I don't treat hiring like a numbers game, and I don't disappear after sending a resume. I listen. I ask the questions that people don't ask. I look at personality, communication style, values, and long-term fit, not just skills. So I think that's really important, placing people that will really make an impact and be happy long-term. And I stay hands-on all the way through. So the companies know I'm intentional and candidates know that I care. And I think that combination creates better hires, stronger retention, and overall just a much better experience.
Amazing. So we are recording this the start of December. And so if you're listening to this in real time, you essentially still have several weeks to contact yourself, Donna, reach out, talk about what kind of team member you want, and get a plan in place, and maybe even have some candidates or a hire before the new year even starts.
That's correct.
Right.
And I can be reached through email at dbethel@platinumexecutivesearch.ca, or on LinkedIn as Platinum Executive Search, or my phone number 437-755-9294.
Perfect. Well, I hope anyone who's even just thinking maybe they can't get started in December, but they're looking for the spring or whatever they need, they can reach out to you and just have a discussion, because you're very easy to talk to. You're very good at what you do. You're very kind and you're very hardworking. So I think it would be a very smart decision.
Well, thank you so much, Leslie. You're just the greatest. I appreciate you. Appreciate being back on this podcast, and I appreciate your kind words. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Absolutely.
Wow. Star